In July 2022, AT&T, one of America's largest telecommunications companies, suffered a major data breach. Hackers gained access to a massive trove of sensitive information. This included call and text message logs of nearly all of AT&T's 100 million customers. Imagine that. Your phone records, potentially including every call and text you made, falling into the wrong hands. It's a chilling thought. The hackers, sensing an opportunity, attempted to extort money from AT&T. They demanded a hefty sum in exchange for deleting the stolen data. AT&T, fearing the potential damage to its reputation and the privacy of its customers, decided to pay up. They handed over $370,000 to the hackers in the hope that the data would be destroyed. However, the damage was already done. The breach exposed the personal data of millions of Americans. It also raised serious questions about the security of our personal information in the digital age. This breach wasn't just about stolen data, it was about a breach of trust. The AT&T data breach had far-reaching consequences, extending beyond the average AT&T customer. The FBI, responsible for national security, found itself staring down a potential nightmare. The stolen data included call and text records of FBI agents. This meant that the hackers potentially had access to information about ongoing investigations, undercover operations, and the identities of confidential informants. The implications were staggering. If the hackers were able to connect the dots between phone numbers and ongoing investigations, it could jeopardize years of undercover work. The safety of informants, who often put their lives on the line to assist the FBI, was also at risk. The FBI, in response to this unprecedented breach, has been forced to adapt its security protocols. The agency is now grappling with the fallout, trying to assess the damage and mitigate the risks. It's a stark reminder of the evolving landscape of cyber threats and the vulnerabilities of even the most secure organizations. The AT&T data breach, along with other high-profile cyber attacks, has forced a significant shift in the approach to digital security. The FBI and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, have issued a joint recommendation urging the use of end-to-end encryption. This type of encryption ensures that only the sender and the intended recipient can access the content of messages, making it virtually impossible for third parties, even the service providers themselves, to intercept the information. This recommendation marks a significant departure from the Justice Department's previous stance on encryption. In the past, law enforcement agencies have expressed concerns that end-to-end encryption could hinder investigations by making it difficult to access the communications of criminals. However, the increasing sophistication and frequency of cyber attacks have forced a re-evaluation of priorities. The FBI and CISA now recognize that the benefits of strong encryption, particularly in protecting sensitive information from falling into the wrong hands, outweigh the potential challenges it might pose to law enforcement. This shift in policy reflects a growing understanding that in the digital age, privacy and security are paramount. The AT&T data breach was just one wave in a larger storm of cyber attacks. A hacking group known as Salt Typhoon, believed to be operating out of China, has been linked to a series of sophisticated cyber espionage campaigns targeting the United States and its allies. These attacks have focused on telecommunications companies, including AT&T, with the goal of stealing sensitive data. The Salt Typhoon hackers, unlike those who stole data from AT&T, weren't interested in extortion. Their motives appear to be espionage-driven, seeking to gather intelligence on individuals and organizations deemed valuable to the Chinese government. These attacks have exposed the call and text logs of high-profile individuals, potentially compromising their privacy and security. The full extent of the Salt Typhoon campaign and the damage it has caused is still being assessed. However, it is clear that these attacks represent a serious threat to national security and the privacy of individuals around the world. The Salt Typhoon campaign highlights the evolving nature of cyber threats and the need for constant vigilance in the face of increasingly sophisticated adversaries. It's a stark reminder that in the interconnected world, no one is immune to the reach of cyber attacks.